very beneficial from the Zappy Hour training that we have been we've been participating in. So let's go ahead and get the screen shared here. I'm actually going to turn off my video because it'll actually show up and it's kind of in the way there for you guys. So we're going to turn that off and go ahead and mute yourselves. Everybody, make sure you're muted so we don't interrupt the video. And we're going to go ahead and get started.
Cloud so that everybody can have this. And Agatha, are you online with us? Call to ask those questions live, right? So you don't have to call support or maybe contact your Zap specialist in your office. But yeah, we welcome all those questions. Feel free to type into the chat, and one of us will be happy to answer those questions. And if the question comes up after class, feel free to give us a ring, or we're going to show you exactly where to find those answers. Also, don't panic if you miss something. I do have a lot of content as every Tuesdays and Thursdays during these Zappy hours. We have a lot of content, but this is being recorded and the links will be sent to all the registrants of this particular class. Okay, so you can also share it with everybody. So here's the class description. Learn how to enable customer reviews, where some of you use testimonials, resources, SEO, using link building. So for those of you who aren't familiar, I'm sure you've heard of the acronym SEO, or search engine optimization. We're going to talk about that, and we're going to talk about custom content, and we're going to talk about social media, which I think, this is in no particular order, but I think social media is huge in any type of business. If you are in business for yourself, such as your real estate practice, social media can be a huge source of leads, a huge source of a following for future business. Okay. We start off every class with the Zap support, because we like to make sure that all the agents, if they do have a question, to make sure you utilize the correct protocol of going to the Zap support over on the left-hand side when you log in, and then go into the Zap community. And then you enter your topic. And once you enter your topic, you should be able to see either 1 or 2 minute videos, some PDF files, some other agents who are asking the same thing, and also responses to your potential question or to your question, right? Or possible answers to your questions, okay? But if you have, hopefully you all have a ZAP specialist on your staff in your company, that should be your first source of answers or help at your office, okay? Your ZAP specialist. Hopefully you know who that is. It might be the same as your broker manager owner, okay? So make sure you know your ZAP specialist, and he or she should be able to answer your questions. And then after that, you want to call the help desk, right? Your 800 number is different than the one that's displayed because this is just a sample demo system. So your 800 number is different. Okay, so get a ticket number. Get a ticket number. I repeat that because some agents will just call and say, oh, forget it. I'm not going to use that anymore because it doesn't work. Okay, get a ticket number so we can escalate it. We can keep track of when that is fixed or resolved. Okay. So any questions, please feel free to type that into the chat window. All right, so let's get to it. Let's see, here we go. I'm gonna start off with a survey. Okay, it looks like kind of a eye test or something like that, right? Which light can you see clearer? But here I'm gonna go and change my screen. Okay, so if you look at this slide, I want you to identify what your dashboard typically looks like on your average day. Oops. Okay, A, B, or C. So A is all zeros. B, you can see there's a sprinkling of numbers throughout. And then C is I got a bunch of reminders and I have updates due. Okay, so I'm going to take a poll. I'm not going to use the poll of the chat. I'm going to use the poll of the Zoom. And first, before I launch that poll, I'm going to launch this poll. Which brand are you affiliated with? Okay, so this is a quick and easy one. Hopefully we get 100% of the attendees to kind of let us know where you are affiliated with, just so that we can kind of keep track. You know, this is something that I forgot to add on the registration process, so we'd like to get that information with everybody here. So I'll give you 3 more minutes, hopefully, or 3 more seconds, excuse me. Thank you all very much. So we are going to end the polling, and I'm going to share the results. And you can see it's pretty much a broad range from all the different brands. I'm going to stop sharing that. Excellent. And I'm going to launch a different poll. So here's the dashboard poll. I'm going to launch the poll. So it's real simple. Which do you identify with most? Which does your dashboard look like most? A, B, or C? A with all zeros, B with kind of a sampling of numbers of different, just kind of a even distribution of numbers, and C, I just have all zeros and then a bunch of updates or reminders. Okay, we'll give it another 15 seconds. So hopefully all of you can participate. We really appreciate the feedback, because this will help us kind of tailor our future sessions and what we talk about, our talk track, what information we should be covering. Excellent. So if you get a few more, that'd be great. We'll give it 10 more seconds. Going once, going twice. Everybody can participate. That'd be fantastic. Awesome. Excellent. So I'm going to end this polling, and then you can see that the number 1 response is the first one, all zeros. Okay? So I am going to cover this really quick, because this is going to kind of set the stage as to why you want to do these things that we're going to cover today with optimizing your online presence. Okay? So I'm going to stop sharing the results, and I'm going to quickly let you know how I interpret these numbers. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and make sure. Now, is everybody seeing my screen? Everybody see my PowerPoint? Yes, yes, yes,
I'm
yes.
getting a yes.
Yes, excellent. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. All right, so here's just a quick 30 seconds. If you answered A, and this is at the start of your day, right? Your dashboard. What does it look like typically at the start of your day? If you answered A, in my opinion, that means that you are not maybe marketing yourself as much as you should in Zap. Or also, you are maybe not adding new people to your dashboard or to your Zap platform as much as you should. Okay, so what this tells me is all zeros. That means, as I use an analogy or a metaphor, I start my business on an empty gas tank. Okay, so I liken this as the gas tank of your business, like the gas tank in your car. When you go into your car, you sit down, you start your day, you look at your gas. If you have full tank, excellent, you can drive forever. In Zap, if you have a full tank, which means basically like a B or better. Answer B or better, which means, oh my gosh, I got a lot of things to do today. Right? I got 5 people who want to look at property or have a question. I got 5 new leads from the office. I got meetings, perhaps. I got reminders. I need to email people. I need to make phone calls or text people. Okay, and I have 0 updates too, which is a good thing. 0 updates too means that I am adhering to the company business rules. I'm engaged with the customers that I told my broker I would be engaged with in a timely fashion. That's a good thing. Okay, so look at back in A. If I show up at the beginning of my business day and I have all zeros, that means my business is on empty. I don't know who to call today. I don't know who should I meet with today, or who I should text, who I should email, who I need to meet. Okay, so the object of the game is to have, as far as the Zap game, right, is to have a bunch of numbers, right? I'm not saying option number C, where I have 379 people to respond to. If that number gets that high, that means, wow, maybe I forgot to log into Zap for a long time and I got a bunch of work piling up. That's a little much, right? Basically, you want to use your dashboard as a to-do list for that day, for your business day. So you can show up, whether you're a new agent, an experienced agent with years under your belt. You should be able to look in Zap at the beginning of your day, start your day and say, oh my gosh, I got a lot of things to do today. It plans your day for you, okay? So that's my little spiel, and hopefully you all, because I like to go over this a lot, because I think this really dictates what kind of day you're gonna have. Because if you have a day like a B, you start off with 5 requests, 5 lilies. I know, oh my gosh, I got a lot of things to do. I gotta check them off. And at the end of the day, okay, not at the start. At the end of the day, you want to end up like letter A, option A, where you have everything zeroed out and that you have done, yes, I accomplished a lot of things today. That's the whole goal. Okay, so how do we get these numbers to be pumped up? How do we get these numbers to increase? How do we get people to ask us for information, ask us to show us our property? That's the whole key of today, right? Creating your online presence, optimizing it, okay? Yes, we get broker leads if we're in compliance, right? So again, if you're not in compliance, like option C, you got like 9 updates too. Broker says, basically, oh my gosh, this agent is a little too busy. Maybe they don't need another lead, okay? Whereas if you got 0, that means, okay, this agent is ready. Should it be their turn in the next rotation? Okay, so any questions, feel free to put that in the chat. I'm not monitoring chat right now. Hopefully Agatha or Jules is on to be able to field your calls. All right, so here's our agenda. We're gonna talk about advanced website setup, search engine optimization, which is cool, and then we're gonna have a little challenge at the end, okay, where we have a few activities for you to write down and to challenge yourself to kind of get your majority of you, right, to get your dashboard looking like, oh my gosh, my to-do list is packed full of stuff for today. That's what we want, okay? Wouldn't all of us want somebody to plan our day, right? That's what some of us hire an assistant for, right? They want to plan our day for us. That's why we're hiring them. Okay, so here we go. So we're going to access the My website, right? So you log into Zap, either from your brand portal, or you go straight into new.myzap.com and then you hit My website. That's where we're going to start. Okay? So agent reviews. This is huge. Okay? Agent reviews. Why do we have agent reviews? Because like Yelp, right? When you look for a restaurant, we want to deal with a restaurant that a certain number of people have been there and a certain number of people like it. So reviews are huge. Some of you have 0 reviews, okay? In fact, let's take a poll if we all could, right? So I'm not going to take a poll here, but in the chat, I should have added this in the chat. Can you share with the group how many reviews you have on your Zap website? How many reviews or testimonials? How many? You can share into the chat window. That'd be fantastic. Okay, so we have zeros, we have 10, we have zeros, quite a few. Okay, zeros. Okay, so a number of you, the common one, 22. Excellent, 20. Thank you, Donna. Excellent. All right. I'm not an agent. Okay, so 0. Excellent. Okay, 6. Christine. Excellent. Noreen, 10. Okay. 0. I'm brand new. I never knew how to check for this before. I'm a loser. 0. You're not a loser. You just haven't activated that. You haven't made that a priority. So here is the deal. Right? So your reviews are important, right? Who doesn't want 5 stars right next to their name? Yeah? Who doesn't want that? Right? So how does it look like? It's going to look like this. Back to PowerPoint. Okay, now here's the situation. Some of you are Century 21 agents, yes? If you're a Century 21 agent, and if you just select the first radio button, the radio button meaning the circle, and let me highlight it with my little highlighter. Okay, the radio button. One of these. Okay? Radio button in computers means you can only pick one. You cannot pick both. Like a checkbox, you can pick multiple. A radio button is pick one, like the old-fashioned radios in your car. You have to push. Some of you are too young to know this, but you have to push a button and it changes to that station, right? It actually presses a button. So for you Century 21 agents, if you select display testimonials, you should be good if you are using Real Satisfied reviews. So those Real Satisfied reviews that go out automatically will automatically populate your testimonials. In addition, lots of you want to display, what should I display, testimonials or reviews? Reviews get you these stars. Testimonials or your other brands can be fake, where you can copy and paste and change the wording around, so to speak. Okay? So which of the two does Google like? These reviews. Why? Because you cannot change them. They are unfiltered, so you cannot change or say, oh, I don't want that to be displayed on my website. Just like Yelp, you cannot take the bad ones out, which is okay, because to make it look legit, if you have 100 reviews and they're all 100% 5 stars, some people are going to say, wait a second, that may not be real. Okay? Now, so lots of you put in zeros. A few of you put in like 5 or 10. Some of you 20. Now let me give you an idea of what a high bar could look for you. So we have one of our Zap users in a place called Sierra Vista, Arizona. Some of you may know where I'm talking about. A lot of you never even heard of it. But the reason why I bring that up is because this particular agent, a Zap user, has over 130 Zap reviews. 130. Okay, she does not live in one of the big metropolitan areas of the United States, but she has 130 plus Zap reviews. Okay, she so happens to be one of the top people or agents or producers in her brand. So just to give you an idea of some of the agents out there, what they are doing with these Zap reviews. So how do we ask for these? Okay, how do we ask for these? Because this is very, very important. We're in our dashboard. Okay, we have to have that person in our CRM, in our customer relationship management system called Zap. That's the first step. We have to have their name and email, because that's how it gets to them, in Zap. So here's Scarlett Johansson. Let's say we sold her a house last week. She's all excited. She wants to say good stuff about us, right? So we ask her for a review. So here's Scarlett Johansson. Again, I hit contacts. I click on her name, Scarlett Johansson. I go to her detailed contact profile, which means this whole page is on nobody other than Scarlett Johansson. And at the very top, I can go to more and ask for a review. I will not be able to ask for a review if I don't have her email address. Makes sense? Because once I hit ask for a review, it will give me the default review email that Zap is going to email on your behalf to this particular customer. Okay, and some of you will say, well, Alex, I have Scarlett wrote a review for me on Zillow last week also. Why do I don't want to ask her again. It's kind of, I don't want to irritate her. Okay, so some of you will think that, but it's okay. I recommend that you have your reviews in multiple locations on the internet. Why? Because you don't know where people are going to find you. So what do? I'm going to say, hey, Scarlett, remember that review that you wrote in Zillow for me? Here's a copy, right? I'm just kind of typing in a sample so that I just copied it from Zillow. I plopped it into Zap, and I'm going to say, would you be so kind to write another review for me? So then she's going to hit write review. She goes, oh, gosh. Right? My agent made it so easy for me. I could just copy that and paste it into their new website. Okay? So hopefully that helps you if you have reviews somewhere else, but I cannot stress enough that these reviews will help your online presence. Okay? That's what we're talking about today. What we're doing today is trying to make you, build you up, build your marketing, your promotion on the internet so that you can reap the benefits of leads coming your way. Now, we're not talking about broker leads. These are your leads that you create on your own. That's what Zap is all about, right? Yes, your broker is going to give you leads, assuming you're in compliance. Yes, you can pay for leads through Zillow Premier Agent and other lead generating sources. But you can create your own via Zap, okay? Think about it. Zap, there's no additional charge, right? For Zap, for you to use Zap at your offices. So that's a pretty darn good proposition if you can turn it into free marketing, okay? So that's reviews. Any questions, feel free to put in the chat or write it down, and we can field those questions at the end of our session. All right? Just to recap, testimonials are good. If you're Century 21 agent, you select some testimonials, all those real satisfied reviews come in, automatically populate your website. Those reviews, the second radio button, those are those 5-star reviews. For the rest of us, we can click on that and we ask for reviews. A lot of you I'm sure you have closed other deals, the ones that responded 0 into the chat window. I'm sure you closed some deals or you showed properties to people. It doesn't have to be a closed transaction. Okay? It doesn't have to be that. I had an agent, I was in Southern California somewhere, Rancho Cucamonga, I think it was. Agent says, right here, I go, who has reviews? The agent in the back says, yes, I got 10 reviews. Like, oh, that's fantastic. Another agent, right, in front of the class, he goes, aha, those 10 are your relatives, okay? And then he says, ha, 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 one of them, yes, is my mom. I had to give her an iPhone, what was it, an iPhone 7. I had to buy her an iPhone 7 for her to write a review for me. Okay, so for him, I don't think his mom actually bought a house from him, but got a review from mom. Okay? So just to kind of give you some ideas. All right, so again, here we go, right? You pull up the name, you ask for a review. Okay? This is what it looks like on your consumer-facing website. Okay? So what is this consumer-facing website? Your website could be johnsellsrealestate.com or Ask Mitts or calvinsellsrealestate.com. Once you give them that URL that you bought on GoDaddy, for example, they will go here and they will see those 5 stars, those 5-star ratings. Okay, now keep in mind, if you get like a 1 star, like we have listed here or shown here, you can write into our Zap Labs company and just say, hey, you know, this really, you know, you could explain the situation and then we can, you know, work with you on that. But really, you cannot filter what's shown on your website. So again, be careful who you are sending that request for a review to. So, because it's not all automatic, all going to be 5 stars, right? So you got to make sure you're going to know what you're going to be receiving. Okay, any questions? Feel free to ask on that chat window. Okay, social media links about me. Those social media links, these are huge, 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 huge. Everybody see these colored icons? Color means it's been turned on. Gray means it's not turned on. So in chat, if you would please, any of you have any of these turned on, these social media links, right? You can put 1, 2, 0, right? So how many of these social media links do you have out of these 5? Actually, there should be 6, I think. Instagram is not listed here. So Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Google+, Yelp, and Instagram. So how many of you, how many do you have turned on? 5, very good, Miriam. 3, excellent, 3, excellent, excellent. Okay, so Miss 3, Joan 3, Eric 3, excellent. That is really good for all of you who answered that question. So here's what I'm talking about. The reason why this is important is because if you go here under my name and I go to my website, okay, this is the behind the scenes where I'm trying to customize my website prior to the customers looking at it. Okay, so here we go. I'm optimizing my online presence. And one of the huge ways is this social media. Okay, I'm gonna highlight that I. Click on any of the gray icons to link the corresponding social media account. If you like to remove the social media account, click on the colored icon and confirm you want to stop displaying it, and then it turns back to gray. Why is this important? Because Google likes these cross-linking. Okay, it says, oh my gosh, this website must be important because they got all kinds of different links that are linked back to calvinsellsrealestate.com website. That makes sense? So here's Instagram, Pinterest. So there's 7 of these social media platforms that you can connect is that our engineers tell us that this is one of the biggest sources of SEO, or what we call Google juice, meaning that if you turn these on, that will help you more than some of these other things that we're teaching you today to optimize your online presence, okay? Another thing is this video. You all should have a video on your website. So another chat. Just want to get a feel for who's on this call. Who has a video on their website? Say yes, no, if everybody can respond on the chat. Who has a video on their website? No, no, yes, yes. We have about a 50-50 grouping. Yeah, about 50-50 from what I can see. So what does this mean? Half of you are missing out. Half of you are missing out on this SEO, okay, which is huge. You will see that some agents, some websites just put some arbitrary, let me mute everybody here. Some agents or some websites will put just some video. It doesn't have to be a fancy video, just some video on their website. Why? Because guess who owns YouTube? Excuse me, I gave you the answer. Guess who owns that? Google. So what does Google want you to do? Use YouTube. And how do you use YouTube? You put a link, a YouTube link, right? Here's YouTube right there, on your Zap website. Because they're going to say, oh my gosh, this website, we want to make sure that customers see it more so than other websites. Because there's a chance that somebody sees your website, right? And they'll say, oh, I'm going to click on that YouTube video. And they keep them within that Google family, yes? So keep in mind, these are huge tips. Have a video. Half of you, again, do not have a video. Link that video. What do? You just go to YouTube, find a commercial for your brand. You can create a video. I had one agent, I forgot what city I was in, I think it was in Texas somewhere, and she had her daughters, they're like 3 teenage daughters, and they did like a band thing, right? They played musical instruments and they were promoting their mom. It was an unbelievable video. It's awesome. Okay, so just be creative. You can also, like, let's say you have a listing. You just got a new listing. You could go around and take your iPhone or Android and take that, a homemade, self-made video of your new listing, upload that to YouTube, and then what? Copy that link and paste it into your website. Why do I want to do this? Because that is a source of SEO. And why do I want to increase my SEO? So that I appear higher and higher on a Google search. And what does that give me? Potential people clicking on my name. Because my online presence, right, thus the class title today, they will have a more likelihood of me getting clicked on. The more clicks I get, the more probability, the higher probability that I get an appointment, right? I get a call and then an appointment. Okay, questions on that? Okay, next topic. And just kind of reiterate, this is what it looks like on your website, okay? You can see what these links look like once you turn them on, once you enable them, right? All you have to do is basically put in your login credentials or your authentication, right, through Zap, and it says, okay, here's my Facebook login. So Zap, when they click on this, when they click on your website, Eric, right, or Calvin, or John, or Mitch, right, when they click on these links, boom, it goes to your Facebook account. It goes to your LinkedIn account. Okay, so again, this is huge in terms of optimizing your online presence. Those social media links and a YouTube video. Resources. All of you have up to 15 resources that you should put on your website. What are these resources? These are links to other websites. Why do we want these? Because hopefully I link to my lender's website, my favorite lender's website, and guess what? I'm asking my lender to link back to my website. Make sense? So here's the one overriding big picture thing that you should all realize for SEO, right? Because everybody argues what's the algorithm that Google uses to rank websites, right? It changes all the time. If anybody tells you that they know the secret sauce, yeah, they may know most of it, but not all of it, right? Because it always changes. But here's one of the common things that I have kind of learned about through the years is that Google will rank your website higher based on its value to the consumer, to that person who is doing the search. Make sense? So if you offer value, they don't want to bury you on page 5. They want to bring you up on page 1, yes? So if you have value, meaning that on your resources, you're going to list, you have up to 15 resources, you want to list maybe 3 of your favorite lenders. Yeah? And then you ask those 3 lenders, hey, you know what? I put you on my website, my personal website. Can you link back to my website? So you ask them because they're going to have a web page also. And they're going to have mittssalesrealestate.com on their website because that's who I am. Or Calvin Sells Real Estate. That's who I am. So I link back to their website. They link back to my website. Okay? That is huge. That's what you want to do. You want to also develop those relationships with those other parties. Of course, some of our agents will put, in here, like greatschools.org, right, as one of their websites that they link to. Great Schools isn't going to link back to your website, but it's a good service. So like you're showing property and somebody asks, hey, John, do you have any information on the schools in the area? Well, go to my website. I have a link right there for you. Oh, perfect. Okay, resources are huge and take advantage of them. Up to 15 resources that you could list. And I would take advantage of all 15. Why not? Doesn't cost you anything. Okay, it's included. Any questions? Okay, search engine optimization. This is huge. We're going to talk about link building, custom content, social media, okay? So here is one big tip that lots of you probably are not aware of. So some of you advertise on Facebook, some of you advertise on Instagram or Yelp or Bing or other yellow pages. My suggestion, as you'll find probably when you do research, is keep things the same. If your name is Mitz and you have a full name, and I'm not going to be able to pronounce it there, Mitz, right? If you have a full name, use one. Do not use Mitz here and then the full name over here in a different platform and then another, initial nickname over here. Keep them exactly the same. If you're using the middle initial, keep them exactly the same on all the platforms. Same with your address. If you type out street where you live or your office address, make sure you type out street on all of your platforms. Makes sense? If you have a suite number, make sure it's notated the same. If you type out suite versus £, or hashtag the suite number, make sure they're consistent all the way around. And here's another tip. Your photo. If you have a photo on Facebook, make sure that's the same in LinkedIn. Make sure that's the same in all these other locations that you may have. so that people recognize, oh yeah, that's the same agent, right? Because if you look different in Facebook and then, wait, is that the same person as in Instagram versus in LinkedIn? Then it's, right, it's not consistent. So if it's not consistent for your customers, they're certainly not consistent for the search engines out there. So that is one thing that we've learned, is to keep things consistent. Your name, address, phone number, and photo. Any questions on that? That is huge, 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 huge. Keep things the same, right? If you have a middle initial, right, that you use with a period, make sure that middle initial period is in all across all the social media platforms that you are on, that you are advertising on, so that things are consistent all the way through. Hopefully that helps. I think maybe not a lot of you may have known that. Custom content is key. So the beauty about Zap website, your customer-facing website, is that you have the ability to add, right, blogs. You have the ability to add property insights, local insights. What are these? If you tune into our Zappy Hour, and I'm not sure if Agatha's online, but on August 20th, we have a Zappy Hour on Agent Insights. Agent Insights is comprised of local insights and property insights. These are ways for customers to get to know you, leads, people that you haven't even met, to get to know you.
This is free marketing and boosting your SEO.
There's Agatha.
Let them know that you guys know the inventory that's out there and that you guys know what's going on in your community. Super powerful stuff, guys. Don't miss the class on the 20th.
Yeah, that's Agatha. And I think last time Agatha did this class, she had raving reviews. So not to be missed, okay, on August 20th. And basically, this is a huge source of your own leads. You generate your own leads. And I'm not going to steal Agatha's thunder, but I just can't get enough of this. This is, again, as Agatha mentioned, free advertising. Okay, so here is the key takeaway. Unique content is key. I highlighted that in red. Unique content, meaning, right? Because I was at some office. Agent goes, Alex, I don't believe all those success stories that you just provided us. I said, oh yeah? And he goes, because he was questioning, because I was giving him story after story after story after story of all these agents, yes? And he goes, I have 200 property insights on my website, 200. I haven't experienced any of those. Nobody's called me. I said, can I look at your website? I looked. I said, did you write all those? And he says, no, I just copied and pasted from the MLS. I said, that's exactly what's wrong. Because Google will not only rank you higher, it'll demote you faster because that's copied content. It knows that that information is already on the MLS in multiple different websites. Okay? So unique content, your words. And again, on August 20th, Agatha is going to be going over all of this, right? So unique content, you don't want to be copying what everybody else is saying. Type in your own thing, your own feedback on these properties, on those neighborhoods, on those zip codes, things like that. That's what we mean by custom content, which is huge. And the beauty about this is that these local insights, these blogs are updating your personal website, right? It's not just a static one-pager. This custom content is being updated daily, day after day after day, multiple times a day, where if you're looking at properties. Okay, so that unique content is being added. And so Google is saying, oh my gosh, this website is valuable to our customers who are looking for information in this particular city. We need to rank it higher. Okay, so hopefully this is making sense to you all. Let's continue. Again, social media is key. I think all of you, here's, I think, the big takeaway for all of you on the social media front. Okay, when you think about social media, right, the word social is the first word. And I think what customers like to see is a little bit about you. Not so much that you're a top producer or you did how many listings or you have this much market share, but they like to know the person. So what I've learned is those stories, right? Those Instagram stories. I think you have Facebook stories, but the bottom line is that people want to get to know you, so they know what they're getting into if they called you. Who is this person? Person, not so much the real estate agent. Okay, that's easy. They can look at your real estate resume. They can see all your listings sold, right? They can see all of that, all your listings. They can see all that. They can see all the properties you toured. They can see that you know the area. But what about you? Are you ex-military? Are you a family person? You have kids? Do you where do you travel to? What are your interests? Those, I think, is what a lot of people on the internet are surfing to kind of see what that person they're about to engage business with is like. Okay, so I think that's one takeaway that you should all have and think that, okay, why is Facebook and Instagram have these stories, right? Why do they add them? Because they weren't there before. Why? Because people want to get to know you, not just those pictures, but, oh my gosh, my agent's been doing this, or volunteering here, or visiting this, or has an interest in that. So I think that is one of the things that you definitely want to look into, right? Some of you may not know what I'm talking about, Facebook stories, LinkedIn stories, but not LinkedIn stories, but Instagram stories. But those are huge, huge add-ons that these mega platforms have added to their platform so that people use them. And when people use them, guess what? They rank you higher in their algorithm for Instagram. So more people look at you. Make sense? Because you're valuable to their platform. You're using their platform. You're responding to other people. So hopefully this all is kind of starting to make sense. It's like the why we need to do these things, right? Why do we need to play this social media game? Okay, so we're gonna send this out on where you can learn more, right? This is your local SEO playbook. That is also found on your platform under my website, right? You have a list of different things that you can do to increase your website's SEO. And keep in mind that when you look at that list, I'm gonna go back live into my demo system. If you look at that list, you're gonna go to SEO Playbook right here, SEO Playbook, click, and you can see I have 25 things that I could possibly do. I did 8, 17 remaining. What does it mean? I can go click, link building. These, are just a placeholder. It doesn't mean that if I go click, 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 it's magically done. That's not what happens. This means that, oh yeah, I did that. Or if they're blank, oh gosh, I still need to create those links. Okay? And you can learn more as well. So we're almost done, folks. And just want to issue a challenge. This is your work that you can do to hopefully emphasize some of these points that we covered today. So here, action item number 1, add 3 resources to your website, right? So that's an easy one. I got to list 3 of my most preferred lenders. Boom. Oh, I also have to ask them, hey, I added you on my website. Can you add me on your website? Okay, that's an easy one. So you want to write these down, hopefully, or you can take a picture of this screenshot. Or we have this on video. You're going to be able to go back and refer to this. Number 2, write a property insight or local insight. You can kind of practice and do them now. And on August 20th, Agatha will be happy to backfill all that information that you may have missed in some direction. Okay.
And
Update
how do
3.
they sign up? How do they sign up for the class? Sorry.
Yeah. How do you sign up for that class? I will send out for all the registrants, basically all of you who are on this call. You're going to be given a PDF document that will have hyperlinks to that registration site, or you go to your brand's learning library, and the Zappy Hour Summer Series link is there too. It has all the descriptions, August 20th, for that property insights class. So update 3 directories. So if you have yellow pages, things like that, you want to make sure that all your information is consistent across all these platforms. If you have a nickname, use that nickname throughout your social media. If you have a specific address that may be different, if you spell out South versus S period, make sure it's consistent, because those social media platforms, Google searching, it wants that all consistent. So, you're the same person. Use your same photo. Okay, authenticate a social media account on your website. What does that mean? Some of you have 0 out of the 7 social media accounts, your Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Pinterest. You don't have any of those turned on your website. Do one. That's a challenge. Do one today. All you have to do is just click on that Facebook icon, authenticate. So basically put in your username and password for Facebook, and boom, you'll be authenticated on your Zap website. And the easy one also, all of these are easy, request 3 customer reviews. So hopefully you got 3 customers that you've sold a deal, transaction, you closed the transaction with recently. Just say, hey, would you mind taking 5 minutes out of your time to write a review so that it will appear on my new website?
And can I chime in? There's someone that had mentioned that number 5 would be hard for them to do because she only has 2 transactions. It doesn't have to be somebody you guys close with. Anybody you enter into the system, you can send them a request to review you. Anybody that knows you professionally, right? We use closing attorneys here in North Carolina. So my closing attorney, my inspector, my lender, my whoever, it really doesn't, anyone you enter into the system, you can ask for review.
Absolutely. And just to reiterate what Agatha said about the agent who asked, I only had closed 2 transactions. There should be 2 reviews into your Zap platform. Those are the first 2 to start. Absolutely. But yeah, you don't have to use somebody that you've closed. You don't have to ask. Okay, so just to wrap things up, I know we're running out of time and I want to open up for questions, but here is the upcoming series. Today is the 21st. Thursdays, we have follow-up plans, part 1. Okay, so we're going to be going over a lot of cool things there, and you can see the rest of the schedule, which I'm going to send to everybody. Everybody should have a copy. Here is the survey. If you would please turn to the chat window. I added a link to the Zappy Hour survey. We really, really, really appreciate your comments and for you to take the time, And the classes are listed in alphabetical order, so optimizing your online presence is class number 15. And my name is Alex Castro, and I was your instructor. And thank you, Agatha, for joining us. Thank you, Jules, for chiming in, Jules. And then we're opening it up now for questions. If you have any questions, or maybe, Agatha, did I miss anything in terms of common questions that were asked in the chat, maybe?
They were coming in so quick, so I'm sorry if I missed it. If
No
I
problem.
did,
type it in. If we missed it, type your question in again. We're happy to answer. We have a few minutes. Christine Caldwell, you can unmute yourself if you have a question.
Okay, so I was looking on the website to where you can display the different testimonials, and when I clicked that, when I changed it to display all reviews or display testimonials that are managed in Zap, the all reviews didn't show anything at all. So since I'm with Century 21 and we have the Real Satisfied, how do I get all of those testimonials and reviews to that if they're not showing up?
Yeah. Well, that's one thing we got to check with your back office system. But basically, if you're Century 21 agent, where is that?
I'll actually answer that. You cannot transfer that. It's either testimonials, which is the only way the real satisfied reviews can show up, or your reviews. It's one or the other. So if you switch it to reviews, you will have nothing in there.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so we have
All right, rock and roll team. So we're going to cut it off right there with some of those questions. I don't know if they're going to pertain necessarily to you or what you had in mind. I wanted to just open it up and ask you all, did you have some questions that you can actually share with myself? I know as you're maybe thinking of that, want to just go over a couple key points that I want us to take away from today's training. First and foremost, we can get reviews from anyone that's in our Zap platform. So if they're in your CRM, you can ask for a review. Again, you can ask your mom for a review. The idea is to get some reviews out there, to push those stars up. The more reviews you have, the more credible you are, of course, in the online world. Link your social media to your website. I saw that a couple of you had already went ahead and added those to it. So if you're having questions with that or difficulties, reach out to me. So I'd be more than happy to help you get that moving along as well. Add a video. You know, Century 21 has commercials that they've created that we can grab from YouTube. It doesn't have to be you, but let's make sure that our websites have a video on there. All these things, again, are going to push you up on the list there in the online search. Those are the three key points that I want to bring out. Never more than three. I think that's just, it's more than we can actually probably handle. So any questions about today's training? Did you find it beneficial? Talk to me. Did everybody fall asleep on the training? Oh, snap. Kim, Claudia, Ellen, Anne-Marie, Nara. It was great. Just need my Zap working. Kim, we're going to work on that. Nara, thank you. She said she's not sleeping. All right. What's up, Lydia? Fantastic. See you as well. Again, the whole purpose of these trainings are to help us to better utilize the tools that are already provided through the Century 21 brand. I ask you to do yourself a favor, and at the end of training today, or maybe on your phone right now, Google yourself. Just type in your name and see what comes up. All right, I did that yesterday or 2 days ago when we had this training, just to see what comes up. Is what you think should be showing up, or is there some work that we need to get done that we talked about in this class today? So go ahead, Google yourself. We've got work to do. If you're not consistent on all your platforms with the same picture, the same theme, the same address, same phone number, all of that, that's work that we need to do. Again, we're not able to do some of the prospecting that we were doing before, like knocking on doors and the face-to-face. So as we're on our platforms, I was having a conversation with one of the agents yesterday, and I'll close with this, and we'll let everybody get back to your business. It was like, I really don't know what I can do to prospect or market right now. And I was like, you know, the answer to that is going to be marketing online. But what do you look like online? Do you look professional? Are you consistent in all that you're doing? Because that's what people are going to see. And if it's not, then let's go to work and get that accomplished so that you can properly, you know, pull leads and business from those online platforms that are right there at our fingertips. All right. It says, how do we add social media link? Ellen, we will, what we'll do is we'll actually walk you through that. Again, that was on your Zap platform. You go in there, give me a call. We're going to close the training now. So because we're at that hour mark, I want you guys to get back to your business. But Ellen, I know you had a question. Kim, I know we're going to work on something with you as well. Feel free, shoot me a call or a text. We've got some availability to be able to help you guys out. I got about a half an hour, and then I'm actually going to jump on to that other training. Anybody that's interested in the Zappy Hour, I will send another email out. Again, these go all the way till October. Every week he covers something new, twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays, so that you guys can be in on these calls and you can ask your own questions and see it live. All right? Any other questions though before we roll out today? It's quiet in the room. I need help too. Claudia, Ellen, Kim, I got you guys written down here. So we'll be in contact. I've got everybody written here. We'll be in contact getting you guys optimized, all right? Thank you guys so much. Have a great rest of your week.